Physicists have a running joke about solving complex equations by assuming a perfectly spherical cow in a vacuum. It makes the math beautiful, right up until that cow actually has to walk on grass. Yield farming on Solana has its own spherical cow, theoretical interest rate models. As soon as they hit the real world, the illusion shatters. In our previous lessons, we locked down our infrastructure with multi-sig security and mapped out those theoretical yield curves across different lending pools. Look at this chart. In theory, that green line shows your yield compounding perfectly. In reality, your returns are hunted by invisible predators. Market volatility triggers liquidations. Flat fee transaction costs bleed your principal, and slippage eats into every single trade you make. To survive this environment, we need a reality simulator.
We need a code-based backtesting engine that pits our pristine spreadsheets against historical chaos, allowing us to stress test our strategies before we risk a single drop of real capital. Welcome to the Foundry by Forge College. Today, our objective is to build that backtesting time machine. A model that ignores friction is incomplete. Until you can measure how fees and slippage interact with your specific choices, you're deploying a strategy onto the blockchain while blind to the very costs that turn paper profits into real-world losses. First, we set up our digital laboratory. We're using standard Python data tools, specifically Pandas and NumPy, and we are loading in the historical daily yield and utilization data for 3 different Solana lending assets, pools A, B, and C. The instant for most beginners is to look at the 3 pools, find the highest number, and dump 100% of their capital into it. That exposure leads to tail risk, where a single liquidity crisis or exploit in that one pool can wipe out your entire portfolio. We solve this by defining 3 distinct allocation vectors to test. The first is our conservative setup, a 60-30-10 split across the pools. It limits your exposure to the riskiest assets and serves as the low-volatility sleep-at-night portfolio. Next, we map out a balanced vector, a 40-40-20 split. This takes on a bit more risk in pursuit of a higher average return. This graphic shows how those splits compare to our third option, the aggressive vector. At a 20-50-30 split, this overweights the highest-yielding, most volatile pools to chase maximum theoretical return. Defining these starting weights creates a diversified foundation, but markets move. If your portfolio cannot intelligently adapt to those movements over time, these initial percentages quickly become irrelevant.
When asset prices fluctuate, your carefully planned 60-30-10 split naturally bends out of shape, becoming, for example, a 55-35-10. We call this weight drift, and fixing it requires trading assets to rebalance the portfolio. Our simulator tests 2 ways to handle this. The first is a periodic rule. Think of this like paying rent. You set a strict timer, say every 30 days, and you execute the trades to reset your weights, regardless of what the market is doing. The second method is a threshold rule. Think of this like putting out a fire. The engine sits idle until a specific asset drifts beyond a hard limit, like 5% off target. Once that alarm trips, the system immediately executes a trade to fix it. But every time we tell our simulator to rebalance, we have to introduce real-world friction. The first friction point is the fixed transaction fee. Solana fees are low, but executing hundreds of automated trades over a year adds up. The second and far more dangerous friction point is slippage. Slippage is the difference between the price you expected to get and the price you actually get because your trade absorbed the available liquidity. This chart maps out exactly how slippage behaves. As your rebalancing trade size grows relative to the total liquidity sitting in the pool, the cost doesn't just go up, it spikes exponentially, punishing large, sudden trades. This creates a paradox. Every rebalancing trade you make to protect your allocations is simultaneously bleeding your profits away through fees and slippage. Now we let the engine roar to life. We feed the historical data into the script. Day by day, it computes the portfolio yield by applying a dot product calculation to our allocation weights and the daily pool returns. As the simulation runs through time, it continuously monitors for weight drift. Depending on the parameters we set, it dynamically triggers the periodic or threshold rebalancing rules we coded. And at every single rebalancing event, the engine mathematically calculates the fixed fee, computes the exact slippage penalty based on the simulated trade size, and deducts it all from our gross returns. This relentless computational loop strips away the vanity of theoretical yield. It forces our optimistic spreadsheets to face the harsh, objective truth of operational reality. The backtest finishes and outputs a final comparative table. From this moment on, you must completely ignore raw theoretical yield. It's a phantom metric. This table gives us 3 survival metrics: net APY after penalties, annualized volatility, and max drawdown. Look closely. The aggressive portfolio earned less than balanced. Constant weight drift caused frequent rebalancing, racking up massive slippage gusts that wiped out extra yield. Discovering these exact breakpoints is why we build simulators. By isolating the thresholds where slippage destroys yield, we now have battle-tested guardrails to draft a risk management playbook. This approach, taking pristine math and smashing it into the messy reality of the blockchain, is at the core of the learning programs and courses at Forge College. We want to give you the engineering skills you actually need to build in Web3. Surviving decentralized finance requires rigorous reality checks. Head to forge.college to explore this subject, grab the code templates to run your own backtests, and see how your yield strategies handle gravity.